Hiya, and this is Steve.
I'm Matt.
And welcome to Giant Quest, and today we're bringing you some Master Duel content. It came out a couple of days ago, and we want to cover our experience with it so far and our first impressions.
We'll be checking out the new Master Duel, showing you the different bits, tricks and little things with the new game, just so you can settle into it a lot better.
So if we get to it and start showing you some of the game itself.
From the home screen we can see decks, solo mode, the shop and duel mode, which is where you'll find the ranked as well as future duel options to come.
So one of the first things that you want to do obviously is sort yourself out a deck. So there's a couple of options. You can use some of the structure decks that are already in the game, or you can look at public deck searches where people have shared their own decks. So say you want to search for Cyber Dragons, you can type that in the top there. You can see that there'll be a number of options, and then you can open one up and then choose to copy it yourself, and then you can use that deck list or tweak it and see which cards you're missing and which ones you want to obtain. So at the moment there is 20 slots available to put your own decks into. It would be nice, I think, in the future if they upped that, because I think people that play this game a lot are going to fill those quite quickly.
For those eagle-eyed viewers, you'd have noticed something that says event decks, 0 out of 0, so that suggests that in the future they're going to release certain decks that can be either won or played in certain events. So something to keep your eye on there. We're just looking here. You can look at your current list of cards. Something that's really cool is you can basically dismantle any cards that you don't need or you don't want, and then basically for every 3 of those cards you can choose a card that you do want out of any cards in the game. So one of the big things people were talking about, I think, before release is how pay to win it's going to be. So good news so far, it's pretty free to play friendly. I don't think you can pretty much build any deck that you want completely for free. The grind's not too bad. I think that the problem will be if you wanted to build like multiple meta decks. You've got your dismantle option, and you can also dismantle extra cards. So if you've got more than 3 copies, it'll just do it for you, dismantle all the extra copies, because normals and rares you'll end up inundated with as you play the game. You've also got options to favourite cards, so where you've got your staples, you can choose to favourite like your Ash Blossoms, your impermanences, so then you can put those into all the decks that you play rather than having to keep searching. You can have a list of them. So once you've edited your deck, you can also change the accessories. So there's like a card case, there's sleeves, or it calls them protectors. You can change your jewel field. You can change the field part, which is your graveyard and your banish stone. There's a little space for your mate, and there's also, you can change the 3 sort of main cards of the deck. So when you open up your deck list, you can see quite clearly, you know, if you've got monarchs there, you can see it's the monarch deck. So we'll have a look at the shop. There's a few different packs at the moment. There's 3 of the normal packs. The first one's kind of themed around kind of current meta decks, like Tri-Brigade. The second one is more classic cards, a little bit more casual. And then there's one that's just got pretty much every sort of card in the game. So there's a massive pool of cards, so if you want specific things, it's probably not the best to go through that one. So it costs 1,000 gems to do a multi, so you get 10 packs and you're guaranteed a super rare or higher. If you don't pull an ultra rare as well, then you're guaranteed an ultra rare in the next one, so that's quite nice. So the other type of packs you can get are secret packs. These packs are packs that only become available to you once you've unlocked a card from those packs via the master packs, or by crafting them in the deck lists. You can craft any super rare or ultra rare, and it will unlock a secret pack for you to then open up cards from that monster or card's archetype. So currently you can go into a deck list, craft a super rare, and use that to open up the packs of that archetype that you will be wanting. So the final type of pack we have is bonus packs. Players on PlayStation will notice these, as with the PlayStation Plus you actually get access to 50 bonus packs just for having PlayStation Plus, so make sure if you're on PlayStation you do go into the shop and redeem that, because it is completely free. It does get you 50 bonus packs,
of legacy packs. So they are quite old cards, but there are some staples in there that you can pull.
The animations on the pack openings are really nice as well. You get different animations. Basically, the fancier the animation looks, the better your pulls are likely to be. There's different lightning strikes, the amount that you get, obviously the more the better, and then different colours as well.
I have noticed the lightning strikes do not correlate to the rarity of the cards inside. So even though I got 3 lightning bolts, which you would think would be the best, didn't get an ultra rare. The best thing to tell what you're going to get in a pack is the actual glow around the outside of the pack. If it has a gold glow, it usually means there's a super rare in there.
Yeah.
If it has a blue sort of purpley outline, it will mean there's an ultra rare in there, or a card that is highly sought after, maybe a royal finish.
Some really good news, the parts like Pot of Extravagance,
Prosperity. £270 IRL, but you can craft it for 9 super rare cards you didn't even want.
Yeah, Desires, Card of Demise, they're all super rares. A couple of super rares that you're going to want to have sets off pretty quick, Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclone. There's some other good ones in there. There's Ice Dragon's Prison, Skill Drain, Evenly Matched, yeah. So at the moment there's only 2 structure decks available in the shop, so you can buy 3 of each as well, so you've got play sets of everything in there. There's one that's for pendulums and one that's a synchro deck. There's also extra accessories, so we looked at when you're editing your profile or editing your decks. So you can buy the mates, which are just like the little avatars that wander around as you're playing, changing your jewel field, changing your sleeves, and changing your player icon as well, so there's a few to choose from.
Finally, we look at the special section. In here you have the Duel Pass Gold. So everyone starts with a Duel Pass, which just allows you to play the game. Then they have the Duel Pass Gold. Now the Gold is the premium battle pass, if you will. It grants you 50 extra tiers of the Duel Pass. That allows you to get extra rewards as well as special rewards, which includes the Pot of Greed Mate at the moment. So for OG players, you may want that Pot of Greed Mate. Very looking cool, I've got my eyes set on him. Other rewards you do get 600 gems back, which is the cost of this. So as long as you are playing the game consistently, you will earn those gems back. So this is a 100% purchasable thing. You want to make sure you get this if you're playing the game, because just by playing it you will earn this.
Yeah, there's no reason not to get it really at the moment.
Yeah, the one thing I will say, to level up this pass you do have to be playing in the dual ranked mode at the moment. I don't know if that will change in the future, but you can only earn the points through the dual mode. You cannot earn the points just by playing solo. It has to be coming from them. You get more points for a win, but you do still get points for losses, so make sure you're not surrendering, make sure that game ends.
And then finally, under special, we've got bundle deals. If I'm going to give you one bit of advice, buy all 3 of these packs. They only cost 750 gems, so usually for 10 packs it's 1,000 anyway. And you also get a guaranteed Solemn Judgment, Lightning Storm and Ash Blossom from each one, which are great cards to have. So yeah, there's no reason really not to get those.
So we have 2 types of missions that you can complete to earn rewards. You have the limited time missions, which are simple like your login bonuses. You do also have daily challenges, so whether it be activate so many trap cards per duel or special summon so many monsters, you can earn a reward for that. There are unlimited missions, which are quite high milestones, so one of them being special summon 5,000 monsters. Obviously you're not going to do that in a certain time frame, but over time you will start to earn those rewards just by playing the game.
Yeah, there's different little avatars, icons that you can get as well, and there's a little frame that you can put around your picture as well, so if you get to like silver tier, gold tier, you can change the colour of it and kind of show as well that, you know, oh, I've got to silver tier or gold tier in the past, so it's a nice little perk. So it's a nice touch of the game. There is also a solo mode as well as playing online with your friends or playing ranked. So you can look into specific decks, it'll tell you a bit about the lore, it'll tell you about the play style and some of like the key cards and how it works.
Some of the rewards may even reward you with structure decks from those archetypes, which can be a fun way to get into them. Myself, I've quite enjoyed playing the Elemental Lords structure deck at the moment. It's quite a different deck that I'd never come across.
It's interesting with the actual duels. I wasn't sure if it would give you kind of like a pre-constructed hand for some of them, but no. If you're playing, say, Monarchs, for example, then there's every chance that you have an unplayable bricky hand. So it's just like Monarchs in real life.
Yeah, you get the full experience.
Yeah, it's got good music. To be fair, I like the soundtrack that they've done. Some bangers in there that they've put in.
They've put a lot of effort into the solo mode with some really good lore. Each of the scenarios comes with a full breakdown of the lore with customised art based around the decks. You've got stories that will show you how the archetypes came about as well.
Yeah, I think for the first few hours that you're going to play, you definitely want to focus on getting a lot of the solo mode out of the way, because the rewards that you get are like crazy good, especially in like the missions. There's ones for doing a certain amount of scenarios and things. I think some of them get like 600 gems just for doing it. So I remember I just did a few of the solos, went into my missions and then collected my rewards, and you're able to do like several pulls for cards that you want. So you can pretty much get a deck after a few hours, I think, that you want, just by going through solo mode. I'd recommend doing that before you just jump into ranked.
So each solo mode starts with a very quick practice round. It gives you the sort of idea of what makes that certain deck unique, so it allows you a pre-constructed turn, so it is always going to be the same turn, just to show you what the deck can do at full potential, whether that be an XYZ summon into an OTK, or whether it be a certain monster effect that can get off. This isn't how the duel mode will go, but some of the times if you get the right tool pieces, this is what the deck is ideally trying to do, so it gives you a good idea of where you're trying to go when you go into that duel mode.
Yeah, I think it just helps make it a bit more accessible as well for new players or like returning players that are kind of out of touch with the game. And to be honest, even like, I don't think anyone knows how every single archetype works. There's always cards that you don't know how they interact, or you have to learn, so it's nice just having a bit of an introduction.
So once you've done with the scenario and the practice mode, you can move on to doing duels. There are two ways to do each duel. You can use the loner deck, which is the deck of the archetype, or you can bring your own deck in to try and take down the archetype. You get different rewards for doing each, so you will need to do both. However, to progress in the story, you will always have to do the loner deck. So I would always recommend doing the loner deck first, getting those duels out of the way, and then going back and complete it with your own deck.
Go back and body them with some like tier 0 FTK deck or something.
Yeah, once you get to the end of each story, you get 200 gems for beating them with your own deck. So that's the very last challenge right at the top after the gates. So with these gates, you do have to earn orbs, which you get from the stories by using the loner decks. You can get orbs in the different stories, so don't worry if the gate won't open even though you've completed all of the other missions in that story mode. They will come through from the other solo mode scenarios. One thing we have noticed when playing the solo modes is that the AI isn't just there to let you win. The AI will try, and if it can make a play, it will actually wipe you out. You do need to try and play and pay attention if you can, because the AI are quite smart in the game, which is good to see, because you don't just want to be bodying them every single ball.
Yeah.
So moving on to the final mode, we have the duel mode. In there you can play the ranked leaderboards, so starting off at the very low tiers in bronze, you'll move your way all the way up to a maximum tier of platinum. I believe there is 5 tiers in each colour, so starting at bronze 5, you'll work your way up to bronze 1, then silver 5, silver 1, and so forth. Once you get up to platinum 1, you'll have earned the maximum rewards. For each tier you do get gems. I believe for every tier 5 you get up to, you earn 200 gems, and every other tier it's 100. So you can earn quite a lot of gems by playing ranked, so I would recommend giving it a go. What they have implemented as well, which is a good thing, is that you can create rooms for up to 6 of your friends. So you can play with your friends during this. You can invite up to 6 friends into that. 2 of you can duel, 4 of you can watch, or you can have 3 duels going on at the same time and then switch partners after.
Yeah.
So you can have a maximum of 3 tables there for 2 players each, which is quite good.
Have your own mini locals going on.
Literally a 6-man locals.
At the moment, there's no option in your room to change the ban list, so it would be nice in the future if they allowed you to customise that, so you can use like your in real life decks and test things out for tournaments and things. I'm sure that'll be something that will happen in the future.
As there is an option to select a ban list, you would presume that there is going to be an option later on, but the only option you can choose at the moment is standard, which is their current ban list. However, the game has only been out less than a week, so it is to be expected at this point. To be able to play with your friends, you'll need to find their friend code from the profile. It's a 9-digit number which you'll enter into the friends tab. Once you've added them, once you follow them, they can then follow you back, and then you two can invite each other to a room to begin dueling.
So as expected, there are options and things that you can customise as well. You can change the card text size if you're playing on Switch, like myself. My eyes aren't very good either. I put it to large. It makes it a lot easier to read, as it's nice that it's an option anyway, just a bit of quality of life for players. There's the general things, language, resolution and things. And then there's ways that you can customise the gameplay experience as well. So you can change how the chaining works, and whether you'd like to chain things manually or if it would do it for you basically. It's always best to have these things with as much control as possible.
Another option that you'll want to play with is the activation confirmation. So I have noticed that this depends on what platform you're playing on as to what it starts as. On the Nintendo Switch, it will start as Switch, so you'll notice on any Switch footage that there is a little button down in the bottom corner that says either on, off or auto. That is to allow players to choose when to activate their effects. It's quite important to have that set to an option that you're comfortable with, so that you know that when you can activate effects, as activating effects in standby and draw phase may not be possible under some of these confirmation settings. So I would advise that you don't have it on auto and let the computer choose when, because you may miss the timings of some of your activations.
Card positioning is another one you're definitely going to want on manual. Just the way that Yu-Gi-Oh works, like zone placement and things, is really important. You don't want to have it on auto and it accidentally goes somewhere and say like block somewhere that you're going to put a link arrow or put it into a column that's negated by impermanence, or if you're getting to Mech Knights or something. So you definitely want to be able to have that full control. Chains are done in quite a nice way, to be honest, as well. Like the cards pop up on the screen and you can see like the big chains around them and what order it's going to resolve in backwards. So it's quite clear, I think.
Yeah, it does make it nice and clear, and I like how once the chain has completed, it does resolve and it shows you how it resolves. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, the chain always resolves backwards, starting at the last card played. So it does show that, and it's a really good way for returning players that may have previously played older formats to now know how the chain links work.
Yeah, I think the gameplay goes at quite a nice pace as well. Sometimes people moan about the turns being too long, but if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, that's not really anything specific to Master Duel. There's just some decks that will make a lot of plays in their turn, especially like combo decks. One thing that is a bit of a complaint sometimes is you can pretty much tell whether your opponent has not necessarily a specific card, but something that they can say activate from hand, because it will kind of pause and give priority to them to say yes I want to, or no I don't want to activate something. So it can give kind of a giveaway, say if they've got an Ash Blossom or something. But it's a difficult one to get around, I think, programming it any other way.
The one way you can play around that if you don't want to give your opponent that information is by playing with those activation confirmations. So those settings, you can have them to hold a button, which is the one I'm going to try testing out using.
It does have a few other nice effects as well. It'll tell you when the final blow is going to be dealt, so you don't have to work out damage and things that way. There's arena damage, so you can see the play start to crumble as damage is dealt, and it'll sort of explode or fall to bits when you win.
So currently, as things stand, the ban list is a combination of OCG and TCG. So what that means is, yes, Maxi has been freed. It is at 3. So you want to pick up a playset of this card. It will win you games. However, some players can take on the Maxi challenge, and we'll see if they're able to.
Yeah, it's kind of its own thing, the format in the game, because obviously it's got a different ban list. I think it's kind of based on an OCG one from like a year ago or so, but then there's some things that don't match up entirely, so it's very much its own Master Duel format rather than a TCG one, for example. So whereas we might have thought it'd be a sim originally, it isn't. It's kind of its own meta. So at the moment, things like VW having VFD, Drytron having 3 Benten and things like that, those are like really good decks, so it might not always match up with what's in the game at the moment. At the moment as well, Dama and Bode aren't in the game. Konami wants to continue supporting it and updating it, so there'll be things that come in, but your decks might not look exactly the same in this game as they do in real life.
As far as online matches go, they are currently just a single game. There is no side deck involved, so do make sure that you try to build your deck for going first as well as second. There are a wide variety of decks, so I wouldn't discount any back row removal either, but playing a deck that you're comfortable with is the most important thing. You need to make sure that you can enjoy the game, and as I say, a lot of the decks that we're playing won't be meta decks. There will be the odd occasion, yes, but a lot of them are just casual fun decks, and at the end of the day, the game is there to have fun.
Yeah. At the moment, iOS and Android aren't supported. It's coming out, but there's not a release date as of yet. But it'd be cool to play. I think I've been playing on the Switch, and it's had a few sort of performance issues. It can be a little bit laggy. It's been really good playing it on PC, playing it on the consoles. But like Switch being portable, I think it can struggle a little bit. So overall, would we recommend it?
At the moment, I'm loving my time with it. It's been really fun to build some of the decks that I carry IRL, as well as actually being able to incorporate different cards from the OCG. Since I'd never played with Maxi before, understanding what this card can do now is really fun. It's a good way to have some casual matches in a sort of ranked format, and while the games are best of 1 and there isn't any side decking, it is still very fun. It does incorporate a different way of deck building, like I say, while making it to go first and second. You're having to think of loads of different ways to be able to build that deck the most consistent, as well as a way to win. But the gameplay, the shop, it gives you a lot of gems to be able to build that deck. I've made, let's say, 2 decks. I'm currently my way through making the 3rd, and I haven't been able to spend any money yet. I haven't needed to. It's been really easy with the crafting system. So overall, I'd give it a good 4 out of 5.
There's a lot of content at the moment to keep you going. I do know people that have already sort of hit platinum and hit the mission rank 100. So I think even though there is a lot of stuff, there's people that could be very hardcore playing the game. So it's up to Konami to keep incentivizing the game for them. There's still like the long-term missions that they can tick away at, but is that enough to keep you going until the missions and the pass reset? I don't know.
So if you're looking for somewhere to interact with us, somewhere to get friend codes for Master Duel, or somewhere just to organise a match against someone, we do now have the JankQuest Discord. The link is on the Facebook page. It will be below the video in the description, so check there as well. But we will be able to play with you on there. Our friend codes are posted, and there's a little bit about us, as well as the deck list we're currently running in ranked. And we've got a few members. It is a very new Discord, so we do encourage you to join. The more people we get, the more friend codes we can share.
So yeah, thank you very much. I hope that the information we're giving you is useful. I hope it's given you some tips, and thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if this has been helpful. Comment how you're finding the game, what your impressions of it are, and make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks from us at JankQuest.
Thank you.